Hello everyone, and we've got July 4th coming up, and that's a good deal. America's birthday, 1776, it's 2020, our country is 244 years old. Beautiful America, beautiful people, beautiful idea of how to organize a country, and a great history where we've done many beautiful things, and then also the downside of it all, especially now the country, as I mentioned last week in my video message, in turmoil because of the pandemic and also because of the racial tensions over injustice. A lot to be concerned about, and I spoke about that last week. And among the things I said there, I spoke about prayerful silence in which to receive a solution to all this that God has already posited in the cross of Jesus, the crucifixion of Jesus. But how does the crucifixion of Jesus save us? How can it save our country? What's that mean? What are we talking about? Of course, this is the heart of the Christian proclamation. And it's a deep thing, and I'm dying for you to understand it more deeply. I want to give that to you. And I'm trying to keep the video short. So how do I do all that? Let's just take a pass over it and try to come at it from just one angle. It's important in assessing what happened in Jesus' death on the cross to realize who it is that is there, hanging there, dead. This is the eternal Son of God. It's God Himself, come among us in the flesh, visiting us, living among us, God with us. This is who Jesus is. And He is a human being who is right in the presence of God. Justified is the biblical language for it. When His Father sees Him, He sees a human being now who is in right relationship with Him. But as Jesus lives among us in this gift of His life, the gift of divine life through the Father, cutting to the chase, the response of humanity is rejection and putting Him to death. This is horrible. This is sin. And I said this, and this is what I want to go over again and see if I can help you understand it more deeply. All of the sin of the world is concentrated into the rejection of Jesus, the rejection of God in Jesus, and putting Him to death. All the sin of the world is concentrated there, which is to say that this is the worst. The worst has happened. St. Paul says mysteriously, He became sin for our sake, or that He nailed all the sins of the world to the cross. How does He do that? What's that mean? It means that in this evil of rejecting Jesus, who is God come among us, all evil is contained there. And Jesus somehow bears this in Himself. God bears this in Himself, takes it into Himself, and is dead. And then God acts in resurrection. God the Father raises Jesus crucified from the dead. That is to say, He's raised humanity from the dead in Jesus. And to be in Jesus then means to be in this new humanity. And all followers of Jesus are given this new humanity. We are given this in baptism. St. Paul says it right after that part, and he says it everywhere. I mean, this is the faith of the church around baptism. But I spoke about chapter 5 in Romans last week. Go on to chapter 6, where he says, You who are baptized, are you not aware that you have been baptized into the death of Jesus? That is to say, we have been plunged into the death of Jesus. We share in this reality of his death, which is a putting sin to death in us. And he says, you were baptized into Christ Jesus. You were buried into his death, so that just as Christ was put to death, so you too might have sin put to death in you. And just as Christ was raised from the dead, you too might live a new life. This is how we're supposed to already be living as Christians, my dear friends. And last week when I spoke about, I want to be silent in front of the mystery of all this evil that is displaying itself in our nation, I said that that was not the silence of not caring. I said that this is a place of prayer where we let this huge work of God land somewhere on earth, land in us, where we let the death of Jesus and the resurrection of Jesus land in us, and from us radiate outwards into the world. July 4th, America's birthday. You know, there are a lot of Christians in the US of A. There are millions of us. It ought to make a difference, a huge difference. I pray that we will let this reality land in us, that sin will be put to death in our country and in all of us, and that it will radiate outwards from us into all the land. Blessings to you all from Mount Angel.